Okay, so about 2 years ago, Sony actually released a PlayStation 2 backwards compatibility, and the reason why they did this was because Microsoft went and released a backwards compatibility for the Xbox One to be able to play Xbox 360 games. Okay, let's go ahead and think about why this is actually stupid of what Sony tried to do. Okay, they said that they ended a PS2 backwards compatibility, saying that it's like a emulator of the PS2 that is in the PS4. All right, so recently, over the last month and a half to almost 2 months, people has jailbreaked, hackers have jailbreak the PlayStation 4 and has found out that the PlayStation 4 can play any PS2 title on there, and like a higher scale resolution and stuff like this. This is the stuff that what is so stupid of Sony. Microsoft was listening to their fans. Phil Spencer noticed that that's what all of his fans on Xbox wanted, and Sony said last year in the beginning of the summer or late spring that the head of Sony said, well, why would anybody play these old classic titles? This looks garbage. Why would anybody play this? Still, it doesn't matter what you guys think about it. It should be a feature that all gamers should be able to have. Like Microsoft, Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, said. He said that all Xbox fans, we did this feature not because it wasn't going to be used as much, but it's a feature that every gamer should be able to do on whatever platform that they have. I mean, Nintendo, on the other hand, they actually did a backwards compatibility, so it may not be the best, but it was pretty good. So if you own the original Wii, you can play their last gen console before the Wii, which was the GameCube. So if you had all GameCube discs, you're able to put them in the Wii and you be able to play them. And there is a controller's plugins that you could put a GameCube controller in to be able to play the games. And then the Wii U came out like 5 to 6 years later, and then it was backwards compatible with the original Wii. You could play all the original Wii games technically in HD of a higher resolution because the Wii U was the first Nintendo system that supported HDMI. And then here's the stupid thing. All right, Sony released and told us that they were giving us a backwards compatibility for the PlayStation 2, and they said that the PS3 could not do on the PS4 because the PS3's emulator is a bit hard than what the PS1 and the PS2. So hackers have jailbreak the PlayStation 4 with the version firmware 4.05, and they have found out that the PS4 is able to play any PS2 game ever. Hell, they found out that it can even play PlayStation 1 games. Okay, Sony, you are a good company. Okay, I'm not going to lie. But for one thing, what I don't understand is why don't you enable a backwards compatibility for us to be able to play even this? Now, I heard news, like I was saying, about that the PS3's emulator is a bit harder and it's not the same as the PS4 and the PlayStation 2. But listen, this is what I got to say. But Sony, if you would seriously get your head out of your asses and stop trying to remake all of these games, because they're remastering and upscaling to HD 1080p with all with some PS2 games, and they released this backwards compatibility about 2 years ago. There's not even 100 PS2 games available on the store. Hell, I don't even think there's even 50 PS2 games, because you got the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, you got the Jak and Daxter bundle that had just released a month and a half ago, almost 2 months, and then you got Red Dead Revolver, Bully, Max Payne, Manhunt, and just a few more others, and that's pretty much all. Why don't you guys be able to enable backwards compatibility with PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and even work as hard as you can to get PS3 to work? And Sony, I'm telling you what, if you guys did that, if you was allowing PS1 through PS3 discs to be able to play on PlayStation 4, you guys would seriously be bringing hell of a lot more people. People would be selling their Xbox Ones, and Xbox will go down even more in the dumps if Sony was able to do that. But no, Sony doesn't want to do that because it's not making them money. They want them to rebuy the games. Okay, let's look at it this way. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Okay, you can go online on eBay or Amazon or something and pick up those games for like dirt cheap, because those games released on when the PS2 first came out back in 2000 on March 4th. But look at it this way. Okay, the PlayStation, all right, the games, you could buy them for like $2 to $3 each. Say you want to get a copy of San Andreas, you could literally pick it up for literally $2 or $3 at probably an old store. Like there is quite a few game places that actually sell older games, such as original Xbox, PS2, and GameCube, and hell, they even sell PS1 games. Now look, these games are like dirt cheap, so why would people want to rebuy them for $15? I mean, don't get me wrong, okay? You are remaking the games into HD 1080p with trophies and stuff, but still, why can't we be able to play our games, like just put our discs that we currently own, and, even if we had to download, the game and download an update just like we currently do on the PlayStation 3 and the PS4, like the game probably won't be as like huge as the PS3 and the PS4, because PS3 games are like 3 to 5 gigs for like a per install, and then the PS4s are like way bigger, of like 20 to 60 gigs for a per game to install. Well, if we're still able to install the games, you could put them, they would probably be like a 500 megabyte to probably 2 gigs at the most for per PS2 game. Anywhere between 500 megabytes to 2 gigabytes. That's how, like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, it's 3 gigabytes on the PlayStation 4 as the remaster version, but if we were just able to put like the original copy of the game in, it would probably only be like a gig and a half or possibly 2 gigs. Now, why don't you be able to allow that stuff? And the older systems, you could just put the game in and play it. But if you were able to enable backwards compatibility with all PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and hell, even PS3 games, even if we had to install them and use storage, and it helps fill up storage and we need to buy a hard drive, that still would make us very, very happy, Sony. If you would get off your asses and think about what the fans want, you would be making a hell of a lot of money. Because look, Xbox did it. Okay, it's a feature that, like I said, that nobody wants, or that nobody will play, I meant to say, not want, but that nobody will play as much, but it's a feature that everybody that owns PlayStation 4 wants. They want to be able to play their old games. They want to take breaks sometimes in the beginning or whatever, or somewhere in time, and they might get bored of, say, like Grand Theft Auto 5, for example, is one of the most popular online games right now on this generation. Maybe people are going to get bored of it, and the Call of Duty series, maybe they want to go back and play like this game, for example, which is Jak and Daxter, the precursor Legacy, which is basically Jak and Daxter 1, and or maybe people want to go back and play the old Spyros, because there still is over 10 million people that are Spyro fans, including myself. I love the Purple Dragon Spyro with my heart, like seriously. Like, the Legend of Spyro trilogy was made for quite a few systems, but the main trilogy itself, all three of the games, were only made for the PS2. Like, the GameCube only had A New Beginning and The Eternal Night, and the Wii only had The Eternal Night and Dawn of the Dragon, and the 360 and the PS3 only had Dawn of the Dragon, but the PlayStation 2 had A New Beginning, Eternal Night, and Dawn of the Dragon. And people want to go back and play those three, or play something like a trilogy that was popular on PS2's console, and would like to go through but all three of those games as one big story. Or hell, I would personally would love this, even though I think Sony should still enable backwards compatibility. But if Sony would really enable, or would talk to whoever that would remake the Legend of Spyro trilogy for the PS4, like put the as PS2 classics, but in upscale to 1080p with trophy support for the three Legend of Spyro trilogies, I would be fucking seriously even happier. I wouldn't worry about this as much, but still I would. Why don't you allow us to play PS1, PS2, and even PS3 games on PlayStation 4? Your console would fucking dominate, and I repeat, dominate Xbox way more. You will get players coming back and that sold their system for like what Microsoft did for the backwards compatibility, because there was quite several thousand people who actually got rid of their Xbox or PlayStation 4s for Xbox Ones just to play Call of Duty Black Ops 2, one game. And that was on backwards compatibility for Xbox One. And people have been wanting to play that game as well on PlayStation 4. Like, play the PS3 version. Now, see, Sony, that's what I'm saying. People want to be able to play their old games. People want to go back to, like, old stuff like Call of Duty Black Ops 2 that came out 5 years ago. Or MW3 that came out 6 years ago. Or, hell, even other games like, say, for instance, like the original Spyro trilogy, or the original Crash trilogy, even though they did remake the Crash Bandicoot trilogy. But, why don't you get your fucking asses up, Sony, and be able to allow this, like Microsoft's doing? I bet you, once you enable PS1, PS2, and PS3 emulators on the PlayStation 4, and you're allowed to play any game from either of those platforms on the system, like I said, even if you had to install the game to use storage just to play them, you will seriously be bringing more fucking money home. People will sell their Xbox Ones just to get a PlayStation 4 to play their old games as well as current. Your system would dominate everything in the world, because guess what? The PS4 can play PS1, PS2, and PS3 discs, as well as current PS4. Just look at that. Able to play any freaking PlayStation game on that system. And you get it. That's 3 systems. Microsoft only had Xbox 360 and the original Xbox. You guys had PS1, PS2, and PS3. Just think that. Xbox already got all their systems good. But look at it this way. You had 3 consoles. If you enable 3 consoles, that's 3 other consoles of games that you own, or that we own, that we can play, and that will make you way lots of more money. Like I told you, people will sell their Xbox Ones just to freaking play old games on a PS4. And like I said, that's 3 different systems. Microsoft has only had 3 consoles since they started. Sony, you had 4. So what's that give to you? That means you can play all of those games. All of those games. That would be like heaven. So I don't understand. I'm not being mean on Sony or nothing, but Sony is a really, really good company, and I'm not going to lie. But why can't you guys stick your freaking heads up and think? It may not be a feature that people will use much, but it's a feature that everybody wants for their PlayStation 4. So why don't you do it, Sony? Why don't you want to freaking do it? Oh, wait. It's because you want people to subscribe to PlayStation Now to stream their games. When it's stupidly retarded, you don't sell that much for people to subscribe to, because you got to have the best internet. And there's a lot of people who live out in the countries more than the cities. The city is the only place you can get the best internet. So there's less people out there. My city that I currently live in Ohio, I have the fastest internet that it can get. It can't even do a stream a game. So why don't you freaking realize, Sony, and think about something, and realize that, that's probably why the people have jailbreak the PlayStation 4, to try to figure out if it's able to play all of those games from the past 3 generations of your console. So, yeah. So, I don't get why don't you want to do it, Sony, because like I said, you will be making more money than what you're doing right now with remaking older games on PS2 and selling them for $15. You would, like I said, you would be freaking getting people from Xbox who will sell their system, and you would fucking be even more. You'll probably reach 100 million consoles sold before half of this year is even over if you just decided to do that tomorrow. Seriously, you will make it over 100 million PS4 sold before half the year is even over. So, Sony, that's your best choice because people want it. That's why people have jailbreak the PS4. I don't see why you guys don't want to fucking do it. So, yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys could, please hit a like for me, and subscribe to the channel if you are new and haven't already. I do a lot of videos, and I do live streams, so if you guys want to, you can check out previous videos after you subscribe. But yeah, guys, that pretty much solves it. And also, send me in the comments below if you honestly think that Sony should be able to allow this, and we should be able to play PS1, PS2, and PS3 games on our current system. Because I know most of you are going to say, yes, they should be able to allow that. But just give me your thoughts down in the comment section about all that, of what you guys think, and subscribe to the channel, those of you that are new, and hit a like if you like the video, and I will see you guys probably in the next video. So, I will catch you guys in the next one.